Order. This is Tuesday, February 18th, 2025. This is a regular meeting of the Cabell County Board of Education. If you would, please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we're going to begin with our special celebrations. Dr. Ashley Stevens.
Good evening, President Polly, board members, Superintendent Hardesty, Counselor Hornbuckle-Myers. It's great to be with you. We have two student groups that I'm very excited to celebrate with you this evening. The first of which is Milton Middle School Beta Club. They competed in a state competition. It was the 11th annual elementary and junior beta convention in Charleston. The theme was Radiate, highlighting how your club radiates service, leadership, achievement, and character. Those are the tenets of the beta. Participating in these competitions gives students an opportunity to compete in various team and individual competitions, such as state academic testing, visual arts, performing arts, STEM competitions, and state office positions. A group of over 20 talented students proudly represented Milton Middle School in a range of competitions. Several individuals achieved first place honors, and as a team, the students secured first place in the book battle and many other categories. I'm going to invite their sponsor, Ms. Kelly Wood, up to tell you a little about the competition and about her students, and one of the students will be sharing with you as well. Ms. Wood?
Hi, and thank you for having us here tonight. We're really proud of these kids. For those of you that don't know anything about the Beta Club, there are 4 pillars of character: the achievement, service, leadership, and character that we strive, or that the club itself strives to instill in the children. And we always have a theme every year. And like she said, this year was the theme of Radiate. But anyway, the top 3 students that win nationals from any category, from academic to arts, will get to go to nationals. And we're going to Orlando, Florida this year in the national competition. And we have a lot of students that actually place there nationally with some of those kids. And it can be anywhere from 10,000 to 20,000 students, depending on where it is. I think one year in Savannah, we had over 20,000 students that they were there to compete with. But I just want to make a real quick list of the students and what their achievements were, so you can see what type of competitions that they're in. There are club competitions that the whole club does together, and then there are individual competitions as well. Accessorized design was a club competition, and that's like our T-shirts that we have. Black and white photography, Savannah Sargent, she'll be speaking here. She got 3rd place in that. Cake decorating, Tristan Kessler, 3rd place. Club trading pin, that's one of the big things. If you're a Disney person and you like to trade pins, that's a big thing at nationals as well. So every year somebody tries to develop a pin for their club, and sometimes it goes along with the theme, but the kids love to trade them. That's one of the big things. Creative writing, Eris Bond got 2nd place. Digital art, Grace Daly, 2nd place. Hand-drawn anime, Isla Moore got 3rd place. In health, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, we had Colton Barr, 1st place. Sophia Hatfield, 3rd place. And Carly Ledman, 2nd place. Jewelry, Harper Corrigan got 3rd place. Language arts, 8th grade, Scout Steins. 7th grade, Luke Douglas and Alex Krager. They both scored 1st place. Painting, junior, Scout Steins got 1st place. Performing arts, solo duo trio dancers. Caitlin Chong-Swati did that. That was a solo thing that time. She got 1st place. Poetry, Caitlin Chong-Swati did again. She got 2nd place. Recyclable art, Brooklyn Smith, 3rd place. Science, Tristan Kessler, 3rd place. Sculpture, Emma Arthur, 2nd place. Spanish, 7th grade, Maya Foster, 1st place. 8th grade, Savannah Sargent, 2nd place. Speech, Piper Nunn, 1st place. Spelling, 7th grade, Baron Kirby, 2nd place. Spelling, 8th grade, Lycan Barker, 1st place. 3-dimensional design, Sophia Myers, 1st place. U.S. History, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade was Jackson Gerald, 1st place. Bentley Clary, 2nd place. Ethan Crank, 2nd place. The club competitions, book battle, engineering, living literature, marketing, musicology, service learning, Songfest technology, and 2-dimensional design. On all of those except for one, we were 1st or 2nd place. These students really work hard to go there. They go throughout the year making doing a lot of fundraisers. We just had one for Valentine's Day where we did a kids' night in, so the parents could go out to dinner. We will also be doing a spaghetti dinner for that. Our bus this year is quite expensive since we're going all the way to Orlando. So we have to really work hard to raise the money to get that. So now I guess we could let, do you want to introduce Savannah? Okay. Savannah Sargent is one of ours. She's an 8th grader this year. You may have heard her name a few times. She won a few awards. She wants to come up and say a few things about her Beta Club experience.
Hi. Oh. Beta has taught a lot about leadership and taking responsibilities, and it's also a great way to make more friends at the conventions. And it teaches you about kind of the pillars of life, but also the pillars of Beta. And it's a really fun experience to let your creativity shine and let your talents just be shown.
Congratulations to everyone who participated and all the awards that were won. It's really impressive to win so many awards, and we wish you well as you get to Orlando and compete again. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. If you guys will hang out, we'll do pictures in just a minute. We have one more group. Are you guys familiar with the Herald Dispatch's Empty Stockings? Mm-hmm. Okay, so every year they post a list of individuals who could use something small. It's not, shopping for a angel tree child or anything, but it might be a person in a residential facility or a nursing home or Ronald McDonald House, just a few things that they would like that would really brighten kind of the holidays for them. And for several years, the Career Techs, a National Technical Honor Society, has taken it upon themselves to be big contributors to Empty Stockings, and we are so proud of them. This year, they raised $1,700 to make this possible. So they do the fundraisers, they do the shopping, they wrap them, and then they have the joy of being able to contribute those. So I'm going to invite Anna Holst up to talk about kind of that experience and what the students were able to do. And if we have a student here, they'll be able to speak to you as well.
Good evening. We are so happy to be here. Thank you all so much for having us. We really appreciate that you all come and let us celebrate, and we think these children, all of these students, deserve to be celebrated. So thank you so much for having us. So just super quick, as Dr. Stevens mentioned, we've been doing this project for over 20 years now. We have collected money, and what we do is we do a fundraiser within the school so everyone can contribute. And we always say, even if you don't have a lot to contribute, pennies make dollars, and dollars make tens of dollars, and tens of dollars make hundreds of dollars, which buys these needs, that it meets the needs of the community. So no matter how much you have to, little you have to contribute, everybody can help contribute. If you don't have any monetary donations to make, that's okay. You can contribute by coming and helping us wrap. So everyone in the school gets to participate in this activity and in this community service. And we just think it's so important to bring these community service ideas to the students so that they can see these organizations that are in need. Realize how blessed you are. Even when you think that you have some stumbling blocks, there's always someone worse off than you, right? So we can celebrate that, and we can also let them see that how they can contribute even without money. Your time in service is so important. And as we are getting older, I was talking to someone earlier about that, about how a lot of these service groups and organizations are really struggling right now just with membership and getting people to come in and do. And so we hope to inspire our youth to be able to continue these community service type activities after. One of the things is we do know that we are reaching them because we will always post it out and put that when we're collecting the money. We have students every year who've graduated who are now working, who come back and give us money and donate to our cause. So that's really exciting for us because they say, oh, I remember that project and how important it was, and they'll come back and donate a little bit of money, which is always wonderful. So I would like to just recognize the names of the students who are participated with us so that we can, and then we have a student who would like to kind of just share a little bit of her experience with us. So the students who helped lead the project: Carson Ward, Sven Beckman, Jackson Hodge, Blake Zirkle, Mary Heisel, Sophie Luther, Ben Dean, McKenna Ryder, Mackenzie Morrison, Wyatt Goad, Owen Goad, and Kylie Lindbergh. And we appreciate all of their service. Again, we do it as a whole school project, but those students are the ones who took the charge, who went shopping and bought all of the items and helped organize the items. Because we, as she mentioned, we do out of the paper, I believe this year we helped 17 different organizations. So you can imagine trying to keep that many items going in the right piles and going in the right direction so we can get them delivered properly. So I would like to bring Sophie Luther. By the way, this is my partner, Tiffany Beals. She is our science teacher at the Career Center, but she is our lead on the National Technical Honor Society. She is our advisor. So I would like to bring Sophie Luther up, though she'd like to just say a couple words about the activity that we did. Again, thank you all very much for letting us come and share.
This is also Mary Heisel. She was one of the people that I spent a lot of time with this project. And everyone's familiar with the holiday season. And some people aren't as fortunate with things that we take for granted every day, like toothbrushes, socks, or some soap. So what we did, we went shopping ourselves and we wrapped them ourselves. And with the community of our school, it really brought us all together and make us realize that we do take just normal things for granted every day. And it made us realize that we were really helping people, and we helped about 55 people within 11 organizations.
Wonderful.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much. That's just a wonderful opportunity for our students to learn and to serve and give back, and hopefully, like you said, that continues past graduation. They can become involved in some of those organizations that continue to do those things. So thank you so much.
If you guys are okay with it, we're going to do some photos. We'll start with the Beta Club from Milton.
Good job, kids. And as I was telling them, not just for placing, but for participation. These are our goats who wear
All right. Yes.
Nazem, how do you like it so far? I love it. Good, good.
Bye, thank you all.
Well, good. We're glad to have you. All righty. The fun begins.
Okay, Bay International. Went to Oklahoma City. Gosh, it's been like 5 or 6 years ago now with Delta Middle School. It is non-stop. I left
I
there.
bet. I'll bet.
You do deserve that sabbatical.
It's a lot of things.
Wow, 20,000?
Okay.
Yes.
The conventions, it's non-stop all day.
Move right along to an update in instruction and
You would
leadership.
be.
Ms. Kelly Watts.
Good evening, President Pauley, Superintendent Hardesty, board members, Ms. Hornbecker-Myers. I have two things that's actually on the board agenda tonight that I just wanted to bring your attention to see if you had any questions. On 4.03 is Calendar B. We have, if you remember, last month, Dr. Stevens updated you on the survey that was sent out. And then we've had 2 board meetings for delegations. And so now we are ready, because we had no further input on the calendar, we are ready for a vote. So you can vote for that tonight. And then on 4.11, Mr. Mann is going to talk to you about the job shadowing program that Barboursville Middle is putting in place. Oh, there you are.
Right behind you. If you all look in your package, you should see job shadowing experience. There's a little 3-page document there that was prepared by Mr. Watson, career literacy teacher, 8th grade, at Barboursville Middle School. And this is a new program that they are starting and kind of piloting for us here in Cabell County. All their idea. And so what you see on 4.11 is a consent agenda item to allow this to occur. And the reason that it's there is because they have reached out to approximately 70 businesses and other entities and gotten permission from them. We've worked with Mr. Stewart to get all the liability insurance and everything covered. All those documents were in that consent agenda if you had the opportunity to look at those. To get permission for students to sign up for during their 8th grade year and go to a job shadowing experience at a place of business of their choosing. Now, while they're there, they will complete a packet with questions that they have to do. There's a reflection sheet that they have to turn in when they are finished based on their experience. It just gives them the opportunity, after going through our career literacy program, to have a hands-on experience in a place of business and actually get to go out and kind of see if that's something that they maybe want to pursue during high school. As you know, that's the time when they start to look at different careers and those kinds of things. So it's an exciting thing. I think it's great that we're able to do that, and just kind of wanted to give you a preview of what that was since it was on the agenda, tell you about the good things that we're doing there. Any questions? Yes, ma'am, it is. Well, I think a high school, a lot of the things that they do have to do with different strands that they're in for their careers that they go to. So obviously Career Center obviously does a lot of that, but then also there are lots of programs in the high school that they have, for instance, nursing. Once they get to those, they start to do kind of clinical things with them that they go and do. Yes, sir.
Several of the programs in high school and Career Tech Center require clinical hours and observation hours.
Correct. Any questions? All right. If not, thank you all. Have a great evening.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much. And we'll move on to an update in operations and support. Mr. Boggs.
Good evening, Board President, board members, Superintendent, General Counsel. I've just got a couple things I'm not going to actually present up on the screen, but I do have some policy updates that are available for first reading and review today. One is 8451 pediculosis, which is a lice policy that would be updated for WVDE guidance. 2510 adoption of instructional resources, just some minor changes, more along the lines of technical changes. brought to you. And then you're going to see 3 uniform policies under different classifications. One is for our bus drivers, our cafeteria managers, cooks, and our custodians. And one of the things that there's really no minor change, there's just some minor changes in there, and that's based on the feedback from our from those classifications of what they need as far as uniforms. So we've added some toboggans in, different things like that. And what we're currently doing is this is out to bid for these uniforms. All these are out to bid right now. We are securing those, and we should be bringing a contract to you, I think, on the next board agenda. So we'll be bringing that to you, and then we'll go into further detail on that. And it also, we had some bus drivers last year that spoke regarding, some of our buses are not air conditioned, and the ability to be able to wear shorts, and it actually includes that in there. But they are able to do that. So we met with them. They were very, very, they had reasonable requests, and we were able to meet those. So those are just up for consideration and at first reading. And then the next thing is there's going to be one agenda. You see 2 things on there. I think Mr. Hardesty is going to address the first one, but the second one is 4.05, and that is approval of the cost of the architect and engineering contract for the new Ona Elementary for ZMM architects and engineers, which you all have actually already approved that. But we just wanted, just for transparency purposes, wanted to tell you what those design fees are going to be, and that is $1,028,961. And what that is just for the design fee of the building. And we are in the process, and we've had a couple meetings and design committee meetings. I think we've had 2, and then we did some on-site visits of some schools here in the district for that team to be able to look at different designs and get some ideas. So we're well on the way of that school building authority project and getting ideas. There's no design yet, but that's the feedback that we're getting right now. So that's on there for your final or for your approval for this agenda. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and move along to communications from the superintendent, Mr. Hardesty.
Thank you, President Polly. Just a couple of things to recap. Social Studies Fair. Recently, students showed off their social studies prowess at the County Social Studies Fair. Students presented on a variety of winning topics from Mothman and the expansion of Major League Baseball to the women of Civil War and westward expansion. Overall, 17 projects advanced the regional competition, which will be held March 4th at Marshall University. We're proud of all of these students who competed and wish the winners the very best at the regional competition. Inclement weather. It's just the winter that just keeps on giving. We will require some makeup dates. Currently, we need to make up 3 days. I do not have a plan ready to present to the board at this time because there's more inclement weather on the way as soon as tonight, or at least by rush hour in the morning. So I can hardly wait to drive again. I've seen so much of this county the past few weeks. It's been over and over again, multiple times a day, it seems like. But while I do want to just take a moment and thank our staff, those that go out and drive, our bus drivers that are in constant communication as they check the areas on their route around their homes. I appreciate that. And the parents who, at the end of the day, this impacts our students and our parents. And we try to make a call as early as we can. A couple of times we've made a 2-hour delay at night so we can see daylight and reevaluate a little more. And I appreciate their understanding. I know it's difficult. And at the end of the day, regardless of what we decide, it's a negative impact on someone. So what we will always try to decide is what is the safest choice for our students and our staff. With that being said, today we were able to have school, albeit on a 2-hour delay. And while we were not really sure of attendance, I just wanted to report that we had over 9,500 students in session today, which is 88% of our student population. So very thankful that they made their way to school today, and we actually had a day of school. We will anxiously anticipate tomorrow. So looking ahead, February 20th, which is Thursday, is the CTE Advisory Dinner. We're looking forward to joining Cabell County Career Technology Center, Huntington High School, and Cabell Midland High School to thank and celebrate with local businesses serving the CTE Advisory Council. Just one little note, because of the inclement weather scheduled for tomorrow and Thursday, if school is postponed or canceled on Thursday, they do have a plan to do a makeup day for that, because the students actually need to be in attendance to be able to assist with that program. But we will announce that once we get to that point on Thursday morning if needed. February 27th is the night at the Castle. We're looking forward to the Student Art Show for students from Cabell Midland High School and all of those feeder schools. It's a wonderful night, just as we got to celebrate at Huntington High School in both the fine and culinary arts, as the Cabell Midland High School Pro Start will be providing refreshments for the evening. The art show runs from 4 to 6 at Cabell Midland, and it will be immediately followed by the LSIC Forum for our school leaders and members of the LSIC organizations. And we look forward to meeting with them and learning more about the rest of the schools, just as we did a couple weeks ago at Huntington High School. March 1st is Saturday, Super Saturday and Hard Hats and Heroes. And that comes together to create an ideal weekend for families of young children through elementary school age kids. Super Saturday is the annual resource fair sponsored by Cabell County Schools in collaboration with the United Way. There will be lots of local nonprofit and educational resources on hand for families. Pre-K and kindergarten registration are also available at the event, and it's held in conjunction with Hard Hats and Heroes, which is co-sponsored by the Cabell County Schools Foundation and the Junior League of Huntington. Just a lot of amazing energy and work and vehicles and things that go into this. The kids are amazed by it. It's a great time with a lot of local vendors and a variety of items available for purchase. March 7th is our pre-K and kindergarten registration, and we can't wait to welcome the next group of our preschoolers and kindergartners to the Cabell County Schools family. So on March 7th, on that Friday, families of upcoming pre-K and kindergartners are invited to visit their future schools, meet their teachers, visit the building, and complete a registration for this coming fall. Registration times are 8:15 to 11:30 a.m. and 12:30 to 2. No appointments are required. Just bring your child to the school and enjoy the morning or the afternoon. There are a couple of board agenda items I want to draw your attention to. The first one, as Mr. Boggs pointed out, actually I think Ms. Watts pointed out, 4.03 are the calendars. And that's the calendar for the 2025-26 school year and the 26-27. Those are both presented for your consideration. For both years, the calendar being presented for consideration is Calendar B. And as already stated, Ms. Stevens gave a presentation last month on the calendar from the calendar committee and on the information that was gathered. But she can answer any questions that the board may have once we get to that portion of the agenda. 4.04, I would ask that the board pull that from the agenda. That is the High Aligned, giving that to the city of Huntington. And just a note on why it's on there. If you remember at the last board meeting, we discussed tabling that, and so I put it on this agenda. And I want to just take a moment and thank Mayor Farrell. We have talked a few times, again, even today. He and the city will help us in any way that we need. However, they do not have a funding stream earmarked to be able to demo the building. And so I really don't have anything at this point to give the board, and so I'm asking to withdraw that from the agenda tonight. I don't think that's something that we need to move forward with until we have a clear picture of what we can do with that. So lastly, I want to address something that is a little bit controversial, but I think I need to address it because of our staff members. But I'd like to take a moment to address some rumors that are being spread via social media groups regarding staffing and budget cuts. For the past several months, I've shared updates regarding our budgetary and staffing concern with you here in public meetings. And during those meetings, and specifically at the work session in January, I've discussed the number of staff members we employ over the state aid formula, and everyone who has attended or listened to our meetings is aware that changes will need to be made for the continued solvency of the district. What I have not shared, however, is any specific changes or cuts to personnel or budgets in the next school year, because those decisions have not yet been made. Any impacted employee in a position that would be part of the changes brought to the board will be notified in person at the school in nearly every case. However, those suggested changes will be made to the board in an open meeting in April, that all impacted employees will be aware of. We explain that in the letter that we give them when we sit down and talk to them. Therefore, any information being spread regarding specific positions, people, or budgets is being shared without any knowledge of what will be presented. I caution the public and our employees not to rely on information provided by sources not associated with Cabell County Schools. The business of the school district is conducted here in public meetings of the Board of Education, not on social media. And with that, President Polly, I concludes my update.
Thank you, Mr. Hardesty. We'll go on to 2.05 delegations. Do we have anybody signed up to speak?
We do. Monty Fowler.
We get into the delegations, Mr. Hardesty, I would like to thank you for the many hours that you spent over the last few days checking out the conditions of the roads and the flooding. That was a lot of hours, and I know that your weekends and your days were full. And I, for one, want to thank you personally for the time that you spend and the concern that you have for the students of Cabell County.
Ms. Neely, I appreciate that. I'm going to deflect all of that to some wonderful people here that help me on a daily basis. We have a team that goes out and checks with me, but I can't make a decision without actually seeing it myself, so I do go. I would also like to thank the 911, everyone there. They're so willing to help. Our sheriff's department, they send me screenshots. Like yesterday, I was getting pictures of the road closures from them. So Sheriff Adams was sharing that with us. I appreciate that. Just the information that we get from our first responders, and they're always willing to help us, and it's a group effort. The National Weather Service, WSAZ meteorologist, anytime in the morning that we're struggling, they're always available to answer a text or a call, and I appreciate that. And, you know, most of the time we get it right. Sometimes we don't, but most of the time we do. But we, as Ms. Stevens said in her interview last week, we don't roll the dice or check a magic 8-ball. We actually go check. And so, but I really appreciate that. On behalf of everyone that's doing that with me, I thank you for that.
Well, we thank you. I thank you personally.
Thank you.
And your staff.
Okay, Monty Fowler.
Monty Fowler, 625 South Terrace in Huntington. Well, Mr. Hardesty stole a little of my thunder with Hylon, but I just wanted to say I was going to talk about that tonight and urge the board to table it if the city hadn't done anything more than say, well, we'd like the building to do something with. I'd like a lot of things, you know, in my back pocket that I could eventually do something with, but whether I get to them before I die or not is kind of a moot point. So y'all have all the cards and all the negotiating strength right now to open that process back up to maybe somebody else has a definite idea that has a plan, some money, and above all, the ability. Because I could come up and say, well, I want Davis Creek to open a mall to sell used auto parts. Even if I've never, if I've never done anything along that way, that would be kind of doomed to failure. So I think this is the right point, and I would urge the board, as these properties become available, to keep in mind that whatever you guys let go in there, if the community doesn't like it, y'all are the ones that are going to get blamed, not the people that are doing the activity. And, I don't think you need or want that. But why I'm really here tonight is, and Mr. Pauly, I'm speaking to you, and Mr. Hardesty to you. The legislature's in session in Charleston. Nothing I have read, seen, or heard indicates that there's going to be a single iota of good news for post-secondary education in this state. And I'm no longer a parent, but I am a grandparent, so I've got skin in this fight. And I think it's time for the Cabell County Board of Education, through either individually or through the County Association of School Boards, the County Association of Superintendents, the statewide organizations, to let the people in Charleston know how much damage they've done and how much more they're contemplating to do to our post-secondary education system. It's no secret that the HOPE scholarships are going to be growing all out of proportion of our state's ability to even pay for them. And no good can come of that to you guys trying to do more with an ever-shrinking resource base. We all know the school aid formula is antiquated and probably needs to be updated about, 20 years ago. They're thinking about that in Charleston. It scares me when legislators get in the room and start thinking. You don't know what's going to come out of it. But I think now is the time for this board, all the school boards, all the superintendents to let the legislators know clearly what you guys need and what they need to be looking at, instead of just pandering to whatever fringe groups they're pandering to, because otherwise it's only going to get worse. And that's not good for our kids or my grandkids. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
That concludes delegations.
All right, thank you. We'll move right along to 3.01 board member comments. I will just say that we recently had a West Virginia School Board Association meeting in Charleston, and one of the documents that we did receive was the legislative priorities of the West Virginia School Board Association, as well as the invitation to come to Charleston with our association and have discussions with lawmakers as they contemplate different bills that will impact public education. And so we have that going as we speak. So that's about the only comment I have at this time. Is any other comments from board members? Yeah. And I will echo what Mary said. We appreciate the work that you do, and knowing that it's a whole team effort. And I think the public really needs to know that it is a whole team effort, and Ashley did a great job on WSAZ getting that message out, because, sometimes people think that a couple people in a room in an office somewhere make a decision, and it's just not how it works. And like you said, we do the best we can, try to make the right decision. We err on the side of caution, which I think is absolutely the right move, and we can't control the weather. We can only make the best decision we can for the safety of our whole county, knowing that we have a county that has diverse landscape, and sometimes if it's nice where you are and the roads are fine, it's not like that everywhere else. So,
President Pauly, thank you. I do want to just add, and I probably should put this in the update on the inclement weather portion. Part of the reason why a day like today would be a 2-hour delay, the Huntington area itself is not really impacted by the flooding that's taking place. The outer areas of the county from Barbersville on are. A lot of those roads are. And we have a lot of high school drivers that just don't have the experience yet. They're getting it, they're gaining it, but it takes time. That combined with bus drivers that are out and parents that are out, we just wanted to make sure they could see those places in the daylight. So, thank you.
Yeah, many roads impacted. My drive to drop my kids off at school was impacted, had to go a different route. So that takes us to Section 4, the consent agenda. We've had some information on a few of these items. We have one item, 4.04, that has been pulled, so we'll take that completely out of consideration. But I'll just ask you to look over those, and if you have any questions or concerns or anything you would like more information about, please speak up.
I do. Before we vote on the consent agenda,
Yes, ma'am.
on page 19, 4.08. It can't be 19, can it? I don't know where that came from. Page 7. I was wondering why this opportunity for clinical experience is going to take place all the way in Fort Gay instead of here locally.
It's actually not. Valley Health Fort Gay is the owner of Valley Health, and it's my understanding that's not taking place in Fort Gay. Their organization is now Valley Health Fort Gay.
I see.
So am I right, Ms. Scarberry? Yes.
Okay.
I asked a very similar question when we put it on the agenda because where are we going to Fort Gay?
Okay, another one was 4.12 on page 9. What the Barbersville Middle School 8th grade trip is to the Pioneer Trails. I wonder what that was.
No, it's just a contract with Pioneer Trails, is the provider of the bus company. is the bus
Oh,
company.
okay.
Yeah, their trip is,
So we don't know where they're going? We just know?
Mr. Mann can fill us in on that.
I can't.
That's their 8th grade trip to Kings Island, which
Kings
was on, I think, last time. This is just a contract with the company. to do so.
Oh, with Pioneer Trails, okay.
Mhm, you got it.
Thank you.
Yep.
4.14. Okay, oh, so this is not during school days, and so is this approval for using the school buses? Is that what
No,
it is?
it's just approval for them to go, the group to go.
It's still considered a school
It's
trip.
still considered a school trip, and it's the group that was here earlier today.
Yeah, yeah.
That's their trip to Orlando. They still, so they're chaperoned, so there's still a school trip that they take.
Okay.
Yep.
And 4.15, the next one. Where is that state conference? Is that in Charleston? Anybody know?
I believe that it is in Morgantown, but I can get you that.
Oh, okay.
I
That
think
doesn't
that,
matter.
I think that might be right.
I think it,
Fairmont.
Fairmont.
Okay. Those are all the questions I have.
Okay. I think, I would just like to point out 4.13, the MOU for Cabell Midland Air Force ROTC. We had some concerns surrounding that last year and the ability for us to continue that program, and they were trying to take that away from us because of the number of students we had was not sufficient for their requirements. But I understand there's been a change in those requirements. Once we get to the personnel section, we have a new instructor coming in for that. And so it's a very positive thing for our students at Cabell Midland.
Yes.
I was really happy to see that because that's such a good program. Wonderful for the students that are in that ROTC. And I'm glad that we got our numbers up enough that that program's going to continue because it would be a shame for it not to. Because I know the one at Huntington High does wonderful things. And the Air Force at Cabell Midland was really struggling there for a while. But thank God they've got their numbers up. So we're back in business. And I'm very happy about that.
Okay, any other questions, concerns? Charleston.
We're nowhere near there. Somebody's going to Fairmont.
The state VEX competition is in Fairmont. Robotics, yes. Okay, any other concerns or questions? If not, then we'll just need a motion for approval.
I so move.
I'll second.
Okay, Ms. Neely has made the motion, and Mr. Abess has seconded approval of the consent agenda, noting that we pulled 4.04 out. All in favor of approval signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. Motion carries. And we'll move right on to the financial section. Mr. Rodkin.
Thank you, President Polly. Well, good evening, board members. I have some very brief comments tonight, but I do have the items on the agenda. We've got the treasurer's report, vouchers, and we've got a listing of supplements and transfers. The only real update I have for you is I will draw your attention to, on the treasurer's report, we have those CDs that we purchased back in August. February, actually next week, our 6-month CD matures. And so we're actually in the market right now just to see what banks are willing to offer. And so I've put out a bid with the expectation that those banks will get back to us by Friday. And so we're hoping that our local banks here in Cabell County will all compete, and may the best one win. And, I'll make sure I give you an update the next time that I speak to see how we did.
Okay.
Do you all have any questions for me this evening?
Do we expect those to maybe be a little bit lower than they previously were?
Yes, they should be, because rates have come down. I don't want to say a whole lot more than that, but I have talked with one bank that is very eager. And so I feel very confident based on their interest that, everyone's going to have to sharpen their pencils. I feel pretty good about where we're going to end up. But it should be less than what we got because rates have come down.
Sure.
But it does look like there's an opportunity for us to get a pretty good rate for a lengthy period of time, which would really help next year's budget. So,
Thank you.
all right, thank you.
Okay, if there are no further questions, we just need a motion to approve the financial items. Okay, Ms. Smalley's made the motion. Mr. Abessa seconded. All in favor of approval of the financial section signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? No. Motion carries. We'll move on to personnel section, section 6, professional personnel, 6.01. We have some leaves of absence, employments, transfers, and 6.02, service personnel, same types of things. I will make a motion that we approve 6.01 and 6.02, the professional personnel section and the service personnel section. Do I have a second? Second. Ms. Smalley has seconded. The motion is for approval of 6.01 and 6.02. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? No. Okay, motion carries. And we have 6.03, employee discipline of.
President Polly, may I take just a moment and congratulate Dr. Leanne Porter? I know she's not with us today, but there is a reason why she's not. I'm hopeful that she's listening. I just want to congratulate her and look forward to having her as assistant principal at Milton Elementary starting tomorrow morning. So
Yes.
maybe.
Maybe.
Yes. But
Yes.
congratulations, Dr. Porter.
Yes, congratulations to Dr. Porter on that position. 6.03 is employee discipline, professional employee. I believe we need to go into executive session for this, so make a motion that we go into executive session for an employee discipline matter. Second by Ms. Neely. All in favor of going into executive session signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. All right. We're in executive session.
You're only one? Yeah.
Okay, I need a motion to return to open session. Okay, Ms. Smalley's made the motion. A second to return to open session. Second by Mr. Abess. All in favor of returning to open session signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No. We're back in open session. We're at 6.03, employee discipline, professional personnel. Mr. Hardesty, do you have a recommendation for us?
I do. I recommend that the board ratify an unpaid suspension beginning February 3rd, 2025, and terminate the contract of Anna Meisner.
Okay, you've heard the recommendation from the superintendent. Do you have a motion to accept? Okay. We have a motion by Ms. Neely to accept and a second by Mr. Abess. Okay, the motion that Mr. Hardesty shared. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed?
No.
No. Motion carries 4-1. Okay, we'll move on to section 7. We have, I believe, 6 student expulsions to consider. Is any request to go into executive session to consider those expulsions? If not, I will take a motion to approve section 7.
I'll make a motion to approve section 7.
Okay, we have a motion to approve section 7, special board items.
Second.
We have a second by Ms. Smalling. All right, all in favor excuse me, of approving the special board items signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? No. Motion carries 5-0.
No one.
I'm just struggling. Oh, man. All right. Any update on current legal issues?
No, I will say that the blue packet that's on your all's desk are the expulsions for the March 4th
The
meeting.
next one, okay. We'll take these and review them before the next meeting. All right. And that takes us down to 9, adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Ms. Neely has made the motion. Mr. Best has seconded. All in favor of adjournment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, no. We are adjourned at 7:57 PM.
Do I?